What's up guys, and welcome back to another video, and today we're going over 10 things you need to know about the Joker. And coming in at number 10, we have the Joker's first sidekick. When many people think of the insane clown prince's partner in crime, Harley Quinn comes to mind. But really, he had a sidekick before her, who was hysterically a midget. Gaggy was introduced in Batman number 186. He was considered to be the Joker's answer to Robin and was picked for his violent tendencies while working as a tightrope walker in the circus. Gaggy's sole purpose was to help the Joker on occasional heists, but to mainly keep his king entertained. He also had the ability to scream so loud that he could break glass and mirrors, an appropriate skill for a clown. So where did he end up? In Gotham City's Sirens Volume 46, we get our last look at the little clown. Here, he blames Harley Quinn for turning the Joker from what he saw as a fun-loving partner into a sulky psycho. Number 9, the Joker was planned to appear in The Dark Knight Rises. Everyone knows that Bane was the main villain in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises, but the Joker was actually supposed to appear in the movie. The known plans for this cameo go as far back as 2005, when screenwriter David Goyer was recorded as saying that the Joker would have a role in the movie, but in a bit more unconventional way for the supervillain. Tentative plans for the clown was to put him on trial instead of in a fight for life or death situation against the Caped Crusader. Batman and the Commissioner would have teamed up to take down the clown through the justice system. Seems interesting, right? To get a better look at the psychological side of one of DC's most beloved villains. But of course, this chance was taken away with Heath Ledger's tragic death. The idea wasn't completely thrown out of the window, however, as the lack of a Joker appearance is addressed by the explanation that the inmates of Arkham Asylum were moved to Black Point. It's too bad, because Ledger's performance left us all wanting more. Number 8, in one universe, Martha Wayne is the Joker. The Flash's arch nemesis, Reverse Flash, really screwed things up in this alternate universe. In the Flashpoint timeline, he goes back in time to ensure the Justice League would not be formed, making sure Bruce was killed instead of his parents. Because of this devastating event, Thomas Wayne beats the shooter senseless, thus eventually making himself into a more brutal and violent Batman. On the other hand, Martha Wayne is so emotionally broken and damaged that she goes insane and becomes the Joker. She then even kidnaps Harvey Dent with the help of her sidekick, Yo-Yo, an obvious replacement to Harley Quinn. She was nearly talked back to sanity by her ex-husband, but learning about Bruce's role as Batman in the regular timeline drove herself to suicide. Just thinking about how the DC universe would be if this was the canon story is mind-blowing in on itself. But this possibility was lost when Barry Allen sets things right. Number 7, the Joker spent time as the Red Hood. Most DC fans know of the Red Hood, the aptly named character Elias, who's most commonly known to be filled by Jason Todd, the ex-boy wonder. But what's less known is that the Red Hood was also worn by the Joker himself. Arriving in Detective Comics number 168, and with some slightly different origins since the key facts stay the same. Before his days as a terrifying clown we've come to know, he was just a man looking for a bit of extra cash. Seems kinda relatable, right? After going through a botched attempted robbery, he finds himself in a vat of acid, and I bet you can guess where his disfiguration came from. Before he was a confident clown, he preferred to hide his deformation under the Red Hood for his crime sprees. He even picked up the Red Hood once again in his later years after needing some inspiration to find his roots in crime. Number 6, the Joker knows Bruce Wayne is Batman. You would think that if Joker knew Batman's true identity, the bizarre clown would attack him directly, but he actually doesn't care. In multiple comics, the Clown Prince is seen doing absolutely crazy things, proving he knows who Batman really is. He dug up the bodies of Bruce's parents and even invaded the oh-so-secretive Batcave many times. In Batman number 39, the Joker cuts off Alfred's hand. And in Batman number 663, he even yells at Batman saying, "Why be a disfigured outcast when I can be a notorious crime god? Why be an orphan boy when you can be a superhero?" And I know guys, that was the worst Joker impression of all time, but just go with me. It's so clear that the Joker knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman, but he doesn't care at all. All he really cares about is continuing the cat and mouse game between the two, which makes the Joker an even more interesting character. Number 5, the Joker murdered Robin. You never really think that the superhero and the sidekick would be killed off, especially by one of the villains. But that's what DC did in the storyline, A Death in the Family. The Joker began the storyline by escaping Arkham Asylum like he often does. He then captures Robin, who was Jason Todd at the time, and he begins to beat him up with a crowbar from behind, with barely any life in him. The Joker leaves him in the building with a time bomb that he set up to cause a massive explosion. Robin did not die in vain, however, as he died trying to save his mother. The funny thing is that there was a telephone survey to let the fans determine if Todd would survive or not. Unfortunately, the Joker prevails above everything else and does the deed by taking away Batman's partner, which haunts the Cape Crusader to this very day. Number 4, the Joker was supposed to die early. It's hard to imagine a DC universe without the Joker, but it almost happened. He has been around for a long time, with his first appearance being in Batman number 1 over 70 years ago. However, at that time, he was intended to be a throwaway gag. Co-Batman creator and DC writer and artist Rob Kane wanted to have him killed off in his comic debut. Seems like such a waste of such a genius idea. We can never thank editor Whitney Ellsworth enough for stopping this though, as he talked Kane into reversing his decision. Just as the Joker would be nothing without Batman, we have to wonder where would the Dark Knight be without the Jester of Genocide. Number 3, he was cured from his insanity twice. It's obvious that the Joker is a huge lunatic and completely insane, so it's almost impossible to imagine what a normal version of the clown would be like. But he was actually cured of his insanity twice. Once, the Martian Manhunter, a DC superhero from the planet Mars, used his telepathic abilities to embody the clown's mind. His mind was cleansed only temporarily, however, as he soon regressed to his original beloved insane state. It seems like even superpower abilities are not enough to keep him sane. In another storyline, he and Batman actually died together in a collapsed cave while fighting, only to be resurrected. In his rebirth, all of his crimes and actions are forgotten, and he works as a butcher with suicidal thoughts, which is the complete opposite of the supervillain everybody grew to love. Number 2, the Joker once wore his own severed face. As if he hadn't already earned his place as the most diabolical, insane foe of Batman, he even pulled off this stunt of nightmare fuel. In Detective Comics Volume 2 Number 1, the Joker intentionally allows himself to be caught and sent to Arkham, where his strange plan can come together. There, Dollmaker, a fellow supervillain, under the Joker's instruction, surgically removes his face. Because this wasn't enough, in the Joker's next appearance after a bit of a hiatus, he is seen with his old face attached to his head. While his motivations for such a twisted move go deeper, on some level, it's clear that he got some pleasure from this immense pain. This continued to be his appearance for a while, with the skin tissue visible underneath, until obtaining a strange substance that gave him regenerative abilities to grow a new complexion. Knowing that the Prince of Crime took off his own face only to wear it again, proves to the audience that he's a maniac. And number 1, the Joker killed a room full of babies. Everyone knows that the Joker has done some pretty deranged acts, but perhaps the most disturbing was when he left a room full of babies to die. In the No Man's Land storyline, the Jester encounters Sarah Essen, an officer on the Gotham police force. They come face to face in Commissioner Gordon's office, which is full of babies. While holding a baby in one hand and a gun in the other, he lets Sarah decide where to kill him, thus dropping the baby or letting the clown go. The Joker drops the baby instead, only for Sarah to dive and catch it, but she is shot in the head. He then leaves the babies to perish in the forming pool of blood. Even this seems pale in comparison to the fact that he currently holds the highest confirmed kill count of any in the DC universe, with an insane total figure of 462 on-page kills. And that is it for the video, guys. As always, thanks for watching the video, guys. We hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Valenplana, and I'll see you all later.